Ladies and gentlemen, great looking crowd, welcome to Morristown, New Jersey, where history and innovation collide.
Oh, wow.
Like, I love this city, right? I was talking to my wife yesterday, we were saying how it would almost be fun to live here someday, and it's not just because it's a beautiful community, and it is a beautiful community, you guys know that. You're from around here, and it's not just because the bagels are so good.
Tell me you're from the Bronx.
So I love the bagels, right? I love coming here for the bagels, but what I really love is the history. And it's not just any history, particularly there's two titans of American ingenuity, George Washington and Samuel Morse. Pretty cool with their connections to Morristown. So look, I really admire George Washington. Last time we got together, I was able to kind of share my thoughts on George with you. George is amazing. There's so many cool stories about George Washington, but there's one I don't quite get, right? So he's around 8 years old, supposedly, right? His parents come home, and they walk in the house to ask, what happened to the cherry tree? And so there's George, and he says, hey, look, I did it, Dad. I can't tell a lie, right? So anybody have kids? You guys have kids? Got some kids? I have an 8-year-old, so I can kind of relate to this. And let me tell you, if I ever drove home with my wife from date night, and I couldn't park in the driveway, my reaction would be like, what the heck happened to my cherry tree? But more disturbing than that, if I go inside, I see my 8-year-old standing there with an axe in her hand, right? And she goes, hey, Dad, I can't lie, I did it. That is a very disturbing. The sights and sounds of that would bother me probably more than anything else. And then Samuel Morse, gotta love that guy. Look at what he did for us. Incredibly, just great. Just a resourceful man who was way ahead of his time, and I think it's really cool. But again, imagine if we had to use that technology today. Like, I think of my 8-year-old daughter. You see how fast kids can text, like type, text messages? It would take, I don't know, if they had to write LOL or whatever, WTF, it would probably take 15 minutes of dots and dashes. So that is great technology, and way to go, Samuel, but not sure if that really holds up so well today. But regardless, here's to Morristown, where history and innovation shake hands as we celebrate the legends of George, the stalwart leader, right? He was the man responsible for our freedom, which we appreciate. And then, of course, you got Samuel, who gave that freedom a voice with his Morse code. So let's take pride in recognizing this intersection of like bravery and brilliance. And right here in Morristown, it's so cool, a city where even if you're a time traveler, you'd probably stop for a bagel before you go back and change the course of history. So look, I love having you guys here. I want to recognize a handful of people. First of all, Sue and her, I want to say her partners. She claims to be the director of marketing, but she does it all here. She's remarkable. This place is remarkable. Can I ask you for a special round of applause for 1776? Have you tried the bacon, folks? Fat-free, super healthy bacon that they have here, so we're so grateful. Colin and the gang, we have our skate guards here, Sean and Jason, hockey player and skate guards. So appreciate those guys being here today. Everybody from the Morris County Park Commission, and there's a handful of them. Let's see, we got Richard Seabury. Where's Richard? Oh, here he is, front row. It's my boy Richard, my little brother. Let's see, Betty, where's Betty Cash Schmidt? There's Betty. You should see Betty throw a baseball. She was striking out some zombies earlier over there. Mohammed, where's Mohammed? Hey, Mohammed, love having you here. Thanks so much. Mark Reagan Jr. From Senator Bucco's office. Did I say it right? I won't mess this up. And of course, we have Sheriff Jim Gannon. Easy to see him. Oh, he's got the hat on. Hard to miss him. Dina Leary, who I'm grateful to have here from the county. She's the county administrator, right? There she is. All right, a little wave. And I'm afraid I'm going to leave somebody out. Stu Lasser, president of the board of the commissioners there. So excited to have her here. But I bragged about this lady a little bit earlier. Who am I forgetting?
Stand up, sir. Stand up.
No, I was going to get him.
Oh.
I was going to get him.
And if I forget somebody, I'm sorry.
Don't worry about it.
You're not forgotten.
We'll try and make sure we mention everybody. But you guys are just awesome for being here. Every single one of you, I appreciate it. And I'm very proud to announce today, amongst other things, that we have our first team partnership, and it's with a very special place. It's 1776, but it's really the Suites at 1776. It's a really neat relationship with a place that, from the food to the entertainment, if you guys haven't tried these games, you have to. Come back, check this place out. Happy hours, private events, it's really amazing. And there's a young lady who's very quickly become a friend of this team. already means a lot to our new Morristown team. So let's give it up one more time for my friend Sue.
There you go. There you go.
Hi, everybody. It's so nice to see a lot of friendly faces and some new ones here today. Welcome to 1776 Morristown, and you are in the suites at 76, and we are affiliated with this awesome entertainment system called Topgolf Swing Suite. And you can see all of the games that you can play. I saw some of you throwing pitches. Yes, I saw Betty playing baseball, and you were phenomenal. But yeah, the past couple weeks and days, an inquiry came in, and our GM, Dave Columbia, forwarded on to the marketing team, me, and said, I think this is maybe a neat partnership, and like maybe look into it. So we put together a lovely lunch and this press conference, and now after speaking a couple days and really figuring out what we're going to do together, we have a program called 1776 Connects, and it connects businesses, communities, and exactly teams like this and leagues like this. So super excited about the ENTFLA. ENTFLA. Whatever, you let me know how you want, and I was a football cheerleader in high school. I can do whatever you want. But we talked and brainstormed yesterday and came up with some really unique ideas to collaborate and activate here, there, and everywhere. So yeah, we're excited for today for the announcement. And welcome and have a wonderful afternoon, and I'm just super excited to have met the two of these guys and now more of you, and let's get this good thing going.
You're awesome. Thank you so much, Sue. Sue, what's the best thing on the menu? What's your favorite when you come and
Oh gosh,
eat
well,
while
I mean,
working?
I can't repeat the bacon again. We've already been.
The bacon is great.
Yeah, but everything.
I had the bolognese yesterday. It was great.
I'd say there's 1,776 things that are.
Heck of a menu. So, gang, I know you probably, some of you are somewhat familiar with who we are, the league. You're here, so I appreciate you maybe learning a little. But I want to bring up somebody who is the visionary who put this whole thing together. Can maybe tell you a little bit more about what is the Entertainment Football Association. What could people expect from a team representing your community here? So let's give it up for our founder, Doug Freeman. Thank you, brother.
Good afternoon. I want you to give yourselves a hand. You are part of history. Now, going back to history, I heard that somebody had a 40th high score. Raise your hand if you just had a 40th. Let's give him a hand.
Dave.
What attracts me to the concept of a high school reunion? Or does anybody remember their high school reunions, or no, their high school graduation speaker? Raise your hand if you remember. Okay. Does anybody remember the name? Give a name. Yes. What's the name? Tell it. Oh, wow. Give her a hand.
Yeah, good memory.
So here's the final question. Anybody remember what they said? Right? I have that problem. So I was like, why don't I just give you the punchlines? And I was trying to come up with something kind of unique. And I think I've got it, particularly for the New York area. UBS. UBS. Can I raise your hand if you can remember UBS?
The arena?
You don't know what's coming next. So UBS is a quick way of describing who we are. The first letter is upliftment, right? We're here, our why is to uplift everybody that we touch. Starting with the players. As you all know, a lot of the players, if you've seen Hard Knocks, they're NFL signed, they're just about there, and they may not have the opportunity to develop and thrive. And this is a great opportunity not only to develop and thrive, but we have something that will be unique, a pre-Pro 4 academy that develops the whole player, leadership development, ethics training, careers. And you're going to get probably a player or two working at 1776, right? Inspiring everyone on. And the fans, the fan experience. It's not just your regular game. We start with celebrity tailgate, and then an indoor game and the headliner concert. Anybody like the Commodores? Raise your hand if you like it. You might see them pop up, and more, right? So a great, iconic set of upliftment. And then B is the tougher one. A lot of us are in business. We have to be built to last, right? we're not just going to be here for one kickoff. We hope to celebrate a 10th and a 20th and a 30th anniversary. We bring in bright people, the Darryls, the Tommies. We partner well, you can be built to last. And then finally, a lot of leagues, hey, you're in sports, it's pretty cool, I have to say. Met a lot of cool people. Can't tell you all their names, but they're cool. So it's very exciting. And America is what? We are the best in the world at sports and entertainment. And AI, as a matter of fact. So we're good at a lot of things. And we talked about innovation, economic innovation and innovation around the world. But you know what? You can't rest on what? Your laurels. We're here for stakeholder value. Whether we're talking to a community football team, whether it's the Boys and Girls Club, 17, we need to add value. And we need to be on our A game every day. So that's a little bit about who we are, and we're going to start the process with a chant. The left side, ENT. The right side, FLA. Got it?
Yes.
1, 2, 3.
ENT, FLA, ENT, FLA, ENT, ENT.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. And then clap hard. Thank you so much. And now I'll turn it over to a homecoming of sorts, our CEO, Daryl Jacobs, who will be followed by William Rolock, a member of our board of advisors and a former MLB executive. So let's give a round of applause for hometown hero, Daryl Jacobs.
Do you mind if I give you a quick introduction? Because I know you won't brag about yourself. And humility is one of the great qualities, but we really, it's critical to us. We recognize that 90+% of the success of these teams are going to be based on who's operating and how they're going to do it. So we were very fortunate to stumble across Daryl when we were doing the search here. Had great interviews, and very quickly you can see he was coming up with ideas and responses. We weren't even asking for it. The guy was working, making this league better before we even formally hired him. He's got a great background, longtime broadcaster with both ESPN and CBS Sports Networks. How cool is that? So Daryl is remarkable. He's the right kind of guy to lead this team. And so with that, I'll ask you to give a nice round of applause for our new team CEO and General Manager, Daryl Jacobs.
Didn't even have to pay for that. That was pretty good. Thank you for coming. Before I get started, I just want to acknowledge a few people. First, I want to acknowledge my childhood friend and 35th Assemblyman here in the state of New Jersey, and a legendary football coach, Mr. Benjamin Lee. Please stand. Pender Howell, where you at, Pender? You go, stand up. Pender Howell is the CEO, editor of New Jersey Urban News.
All right.
And I think I saw Andrea walk in here. Andrea Holmes Tompkins.
Oh, there she is.
She's the CEO of Ace Media. She's done work with Oprah Winfrey and everybody you can name. I just named 3 Pattistonians where I'm from as well. So there's a common denominator there. And I also want to introduce my friend, Phil Talmadge, who's an attorney, who is from Chicago. Stand up, Phil. And my agent, he's been my agent for years. He don't want to take the credit for it. Mr. Tony Powell, Tony Powell. And finally, the woman that got my heart. In the back there, former VP with the Denver Broncos. She don't like when I call her doctor, but that costs a lot of money. Dr. China Ju. China? First, I want to express my gratitude to the ownership and consulting for trusting me with this new role as CEO and team president. It's an honor to be part of the Entertainment Football Association, and I'm excited about what we can do and what we can do together. The organization will not just be known for winning games, but I want to place 3 areas of emphasis that I want to focus on. First is community engagement. We want to engage with the local people in the community and the business, as well as the nonprofits, the schools, and corporations in the Morristown and the surrounding areas. 2, fan engagement. We know that the fans are very important to us, so we want to provide a family-friendly entertainment that is affordable, that's key, and is enjoyable for everyone. From the tailgating to exciting halftime shows, after game concerts, whether it's a diehard football fan or just someone looking for affordable family outing, we want to make the game very accessible and welcome to everyone. And finally, I should have told you, I'm doing a media timeout here. I'm gonna be like 2 minutes and 30 seconds with all this as well. Player development, and Doug talked about a little bit about player development, but we're committed to building an environment where players can thrive, improve their skills, and take their careers to the next level, whether it's in the NFL, CFL, UFL, or off the field. We work with our corporate partners and community partners as well to create job readiness programs. That's the key. That's one of the reasons why I came aboard with this, and career opportunities. Through strong coaching, as well as training support, we will create opportunities for our players to succeed. And finally, in closing, and this is as short as I've ever been when you give me a microphone. So if you can catch me this basketball season, ESPN and CBS Sports, I'll be doing Big 12 games, Big Sky, as well as the Mountain West Conference, as well as the MAC Conference. I always got to come home and do games here. But in closing, together we have created lasting memories for our fans and meaningful partnerships in the community. We're open doors, opportunities not only for the community, but for our players as well. This is more than just a team. This is a movement that brings people together, as Doug mentioned, uplift our communities and give the players a platform to reach new heights. And with that being said, I just want to thank you for coming out. Hope you can start. We're selling season tickets as soon as this thing is over with. If you want to purchase some tickets as well, if you want to partner with us. But thank you for coming out, and let's get ready for an unforgettable season. Wow. Now I'll turn it back over to John.
Thank you so much. Very good, Daryl. All right, we saved the best for last.
Yes.
So, you know, we probably touched on every bullet point he wanted to talk about, so William, just say whatever the heck you want. Sorry, William, we kind of stole your thunder there. But William Rolak has been involved not only with Major League Baseball, but with this league since its inception. You wouldn't know what to look at him, but he's a very bright young man. We're thrilled to have William. Brother, thanks for being here today.
I get an opportunity to kind of just pull it all together and just say thank you for being here, but also encourage you. We are looking at this from a perspective as a senior advisor to the league. Sue, you kicked it off. It's where we connect. And it's where we connect with businesses, it's where we connect with nonprofits, it's where we connect with our community, it's where we connect with our kids and our youth. And I'm asking each one of you to support this mission of uplifting, and I want you to be selfish as a community. When we look at the opportunities that we are going to afford the community with next summer, it's an opportunity that we engage everyone. And so from our representatives, our legislation, and others that actually lead the community, and really across the, the state from a perspective, we want to make sure that we are engaging everyone at all levels. And so this is a unique opportunity for us with the Entertainment Football League that we don't have with some other of our major league sports. There's an agenda that gets carried out, and we get to go and participate as a fan in the major league sports, but we don't get a chance to participate as an individual contributor of our community. This gives us a chance to actually contribute as an individual contributor. And so we're asking all of you, as we have these activities, as we have fun, as we look at having excitement during the summer and for a summer league, I'm asking all of you to actually reach down, bring someone with you, let's make it an exciting activity, and let's make sure that we get the press that we need league-wide. There will be fans coming to town from other locations and where we have teams, so think about that as we talk about, our Visitors Bureau, as we look at, places to go, things to do. These are places to stay. These are things that we want to market league-wide. And as the league continues to grow, it gives us more opportunity to draw more individuals into our communities across the league. So again, I'm excited, Daryl, excited about your position and your leadership here in the league, in your connections, our partnerships with Sue and others. This is what makes this work. And so again, thank you on behalf of the Entertainment Football Association.
William, awesome as always. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you. And that's a good point, right? People need to come and eat at 1776 before the game.
That's right.
And they need to stay at the Hyatt House with Victoria when they come in from other cities. So we've launched teams in Danbury, Connecticut, the Danbury Diesel, a couple weeks ago in Fitchburg, Massachusetts, the Fitchburg Heroes. Of course, today we'll get to a name for our Morris County team, and here next month we have everything in place to launch the 4th team in the league, which can't wait to let you guys know about that. But that's not what we're here to talk about today. Today, we are here to talk about a name. So I want to tell you about the inspiration a little bit behind the name and the logo, if I could first. So a lot of it's about the community, the history here. We love this city. When I say that, you know, we're genuine about it. We're so proud to be here. We're so proud to be part of this town. And when we wanted to come up with something that would represent the city, we wanted to make sure that it was something that people would be proud of, something they can get behind. I was really touched by how people were so passionate about George Washington. And something that I studied with him that to me was fascinating was the Culper ring. From Morristown, are we familiar with that? George Washington won the American Revolution largely through espionage, through spies. Very, very cool. And then it made me think of course, Samuel Morse, Morse code, right? So with all of these things wrapped in, without further ado, it gives me a great pleasure to tell you, hey, New Jersey, can you guys help me with this drum roll, please? Is our sound working in the back?
Any sound?
I think our speakers back there aren't working. Columbia, is that something we can get going here? Is it going? All right, we'll make our. All right, are you ready then? One more time. Meet the. Wait a second.
Oh, wow. That's the name of the team.
Uh-oh, we're having a little technical difficulties. All right, guys, I'm sorry. I'm not going to be able to tell you the name of the team. But there's some good news. You guys are going to tell me the name of the team because it's now time to play the Morristown Feud. All right. All right. Let's give it up for our contestants. Let's meet them. My assistant Vanna here. Let's give it up for Tyler here. Our first contestant, to my far right, you guys know Samuel Morse. Actually, we switched positions here. Samuel Morse is in the middle. No, that's not for you. There we go. There's Samuel Morse. That's why you guys are assigned seats. All right. Next to Samuel Morse, founding father of our nation, not just the general, right, but our first president. Let's give it up for George Washington.
Yes, you bet.
All right, George, looking good, baby. All right, next in line, speaking of espionage, one of the coolest cats around, 007, James Bond.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
And not to be left out of the sleuth game, she may be a pesky, meddling teenager, but you gotta respect the spy work and sleuthness of Daphne from Scooby-Doo. Women love it when you surprise them with shoving a wig on their head.
Oh my God.
Yeah, very good, Daphne. All right, so there's Daphne. All right, guys, we're going to have to crack a code. I gave you a couple of letters to what our name is, but we're going to play Code-moji. So we have to assign these emojis to different letters to fill out the rest of the name of the team. So I'm going to ask each of our contestants up here a question. If they get it right, they get the letter. So first, we'll start with George Washington at the end there. Question 1, George. Samuel Morse's most famous original quote was either thumbs up here, which is, "What hath God wrought?" or the lips, "One's invention is another's tool," or the cat with the heart eyes. Samuel Morse's most famous quote was, "I tap that." Morse code, you guys.
Get rid of the third one.
What do you think?
One's invention is another's tool. I'm going to go with number 2 because it says it.
Number 2 it is! Way to go! One's invention is another's tool. Way to go, George. So that gives
Okay.
All right, so next up, Samuel Morse. Question number 2. What inspired Samuel Morse to invent the telegraph? Was it peace sign, a request by U.S. President Martin Van Buren, a delayed message about his wife's illness, or the eggplant, his intense interest in TMZ-style celebrity gossip? He just couldn't get information fast enough. What do you think?
Okay, I'm going to remove the eggplant and the peace sign. Let's go with a delayed message about
All
my
right.
wife's illness.
You got it, brother. Congratulations. In fact, he was on a commission, I learned, painting a picture in Washington, D.C. when he learned of his wife's illness via regular mail. And by the time he rushed out of there, by the time he got there, she was not only dead, poor thing, but she was buried. So he missed the whole thing. And so that was the inspiration. Kind of cool, right? All right, up next, James Bond. I love
No
it.
glasses.
All right, here's your question, James. Martha Washington was quoted as saying, "George has the biggest blank of any man I've ever known." George has the biggest blank of any man I know. Was it the biggest heart? Was it the biggest set of dentures? Or was it the biggest musket balls?
Well, I'll go with the top one.
The top one, what is that, a little devil face? Let's see if you're right. Heart. You got it. Let's give it up for James Bond. So that little devil face is the letter T.
Yeah.
I couldn't help it.
All right, down to Daphne. You ready for this, girl? You look great in that wig. No one show her a picture. She'll be mad at me for this. You are a good sport. You're all good sports. All right, question number 4. Contestant Daphne. Samuel Morse's first message sent via telegraph was, "What hath God wrought? Wonders never shall cease," or "It's tricky to rock a rhyme that's right on time."
I'm going to say no to the football.
Okay, no to the football. So smiley face or the 100% there?
I mean, I don't know. What do y'all think? I feel like I'm going to go with...
You're from Morristown. You don't know his first message?
We're Massachusetts originally,
So is he. So is Samuel Morse. So we're
how
You
about-
got it right, the 100%. What hath God wrought? So that gives us the letter R. I don't know if you guys are following along with the game. I'm purposefully not making it too easy because I wanted to get to this moment. So here we go, guys, for real this time. Hey, New Jersey, let's give us the drum roll. Let's meet the name of your new team representing espionage, Samuel Morse, George Washington, and all that he did. Very fitting. Gentlemen, you can assist me. Hey, New Jersey, meet the New Jersey Ciphers. Thank you so much to Sean and to Jason for helping with that. You guys look great. Guys, and Tyler, thanks so much for your help. Everybody, I want to get you one of these media packets. That'll tell you a lot more about all the things we talk about today. I appreciate you guys having some fun with us. We're very proud of this community to have a team here. We have a gift for each of you. Tyler, on your way out, we'll let you pick a t-shirt in your size to take with you. We want you wearing this shirt around the community and representing this team. Thanks again to all of you for being here. Lots more announcements coming over the coming months. We're going to get an office open and the staff hired, and we'll be calling each of you. We want you to be part of this, so thanks again. Can we answer any questions from the head table here for anyone? If not, we can make ourselves available to talk after. Yes, sir.
Probably a silly question.
Okay.
What is the meaning of a cipher?
Okay, great question. Maybe you should have mentioned that. So yeah, I mean, it's not a super common word, right? And that was one of our goals from the beginning. We wanted to be unique with our team names. You're not probably going to find the Bears or the Eagles. Not that there's anything wrong with those names, but we wanted unique names. A cipher is a way of coding messages. In fact, what I showed you before were different either letters, numbers, or symbols represent the real letters. And they have to be deciphered. Morse code, for example, is a cipher. Right? George Washington used ciphers with lemon juice, so secret messages that had to be decoded by the recipient in invisible ink, and they used lemon juice. Pretty cool, right, that he came up with that idea. So George Washington used ciphers to help win the American Revolution, and of course we all know he spent more time here than he did in Valley Forge with his troops during those cold winters of the war. So that we felt like really tied into the history here. And then when you look at what Vail and Morse did with Morse code, which again is essentially a cipher, That helped us land the name. And I'm happy you asked that. Thank you for helping us with that.
Great question.
Yes, great question. Any question for anybody else up here? Anything else? Yes, sir.
Is this going to be 7-on-7 or team play or
Okay, so this league was designed to be 6-on-6. That was the original thought. I've been debating back and forth. We've never had the final conversation on this. We want the best quality product that we can. So 6-on-6, there's a lot of reasons behind it. We want that open field. We want to develop more fit athletes playing Ironman football. It's a great concept, but the problem with it is that we're kind of thinking through is it just hasn't been done very much. Where 7-on-7, there's a playbook. There's high schools that play the sport. There's assigned positions. Would it be easier for our coaches, if we did go 7-on-7? So we originally launched as a 6-on-6 league. Once we hire coaches, again, we got to get our 4th team launched, come out with a schedule, get offices open. We'll have the discussions to properly decide what is the best product for our fan base, the people that are going to come and be guests at our games. So good question. It'll either be 6-on-6 or 7-on-7. 4 home games here in Morristown, representing New Jersey, in June and July, with the playoffs in August.
And talk about the rules. You want to talk about the rules of the game?
What about the rules? I don't know what you want me to say. I want to answer your question, but
No, I thought you were going to tell them more about the league.
I don't know that I know a lot about the rules. I'm probably the wrong guy to ask. If you have any thoughts.
Well, we have a 20-second play clock,
Oh, that.
which is going to be very, very good. I'm a proponent, of course, of 7-on-7 because it's a well-known commodity, 7-on-7 football with it as well. Most of the retired or some former NFL players who have reached out to me like the 7-on-7 format, but they're excited about the 6-on-6 format if we go to that format as well. So we'll get with our coaches and discuss exactly what format we want to go with, but either way, it's going to be some exciting football.
Okay. When you said the rules, I think you meant maybe the football rules, but the general framework of the game. The idea, gang, is you're going to come, you're going to experience tailgating and jumping castles for kids and live music and hopefully a beer garden out in front of the arena. And you come in and there's indoor fireworks and laser lights and smoke. And then at halftime, we bring in these great America's Got Talent type of halftime acts. After the game, not only do you have this great game that we try and abbreviate to a 2-hour game with 12-minute quarters, 20-second play clocks, huddles are illegal. We have this abbreviated game. Then there's a half-an-hour autograph session on the field. So you, your kids, your clients can come and meet our players, meet the cheerleaders, talk to the coach after every single game while we set up a stage on the other half of the field for a post-game concert. That'll probably be something like an hour and a half long. So you have this 4-hour event that from the minute you pull into the parking lot to the minute you leave, it's almost dizzying. There's so much going on, so much fun, so much entertaining, something for everybody. And tickets start at like $20 for kids and $30 for adults. So you can't beat it. You don't have to spend $1,000 to go to a football game in New Jersey anymore, right? Pay $100 to park.
Yep. Talk a little bit about the entertainment piece.
Yes, so part of the design is we look at, we have a chief entertainment officer, Rita Lee, who has been working out with us to figure out the right type of, and there'll be a diversity of entertainers, all types of acts, all of them exciting. But so entertainers love to have extra dates, right? So leagues like ours are just instant, it's like instant offense. They just love that. And a lot of them are also sports fans. And some of them will be investors. Some of them already are investors. So you have just this great intersection. As we can see, I'm a Jet season tickets holder. I took my daughter to Kansas City Chiefs against the Jets last year, the Taylor Swift game. So, entertainment and sports are fusing anyway. And so now we're bringing that to more communities that maybe haven't had the opportunity other than to go to New York or Boston or the other cities.
Any other questions?
And also part of the game is there's no kicking. It's 4 downs. We wanted to eliminate kicking to speed the game up. So if you score touchdowns, 2-point conversion. If you're in the 4th down, you have to go for it as well. There's no kicking involved in this, so we thought that would be a great concept to add with that to eliminate the kicking part of it as well.
You say, sorry.
Yeah.
You said no kicking. You mean like punting?
Punting.
Or kickoffs as a
Kickoff.
throw-off to start the
What
game.
about, can you kick a field goal?
No,
No,
there are
no
no
kicking.
field goal posts. Right, so we're playing largely in hockey arenas, 2,000 to 3,000 seat hockey arenas that don't have the ceiling capacity for the kicking game, but it would make it impossible to play in some of these communities if we kept the kicking game. So how can we find the right communities that will embrace this and adjust the game to fit where we're going to play, to speed the game up, to reduce the roster size? Right, we're very determined. We are here for the community. This is not about anyone getting rich. It's about providing something good for Moorestown and the surrounding areas that's family fun, it's wholesome, but at the same time, it's a business. We want to make sure this costs less money to run than it can generate, right? So when you reduce the roster size and the number of games, some of the things that we've done, they're really done to ensure that we have a good business model, to make sure this team is going to be here for a long time, as Doug alluded to before. Yes, sir?
Two questions.
Okay.
Will the players be getting paid?
Yes.
And how big is the field itself?
Yeah, cool question. Look here. The field is designed to fit in a hockey rink, so it's 50 yards long rather than 100, half the length of a normal football field. It's also about half the width. You could fit 4 of these fields on the Jets field, just to kind of give you a sense. And these guys are professionals. We'll probably cut guys who play Division I college football in training camp. They won't be good enough to play at this level. I mean, that's the reality. These guys are professionals. They get paid, housed. We provide them with meals. We'll have NFL scouts watching these games. There will be guys that go from this league to the CFL, to the UFL, and occasionally a guy squeaks through and plays in the NFL. Right? Lots of guys. You figure when the Jets or the Giants have training camp after mini camps and rookie camps, they bring in usually over 100 guys that are good enough to play at the NFL level. They're only allowed to keep 53 of them by league rules. So there's 32 teams across the country in the NFL that are releasing 50 guys who are NFL caliber players. So that's really our target, guys that have that kind of experience, guys who maybe weren't drafted Division I players that we can get to come. They want to continue their career. We want to give them that opportunity, breathe some life into them, and give them a chance to keep playing the game they love and move up. You guys are awesome. All good questions.
Wait a minute, hold on. You didn't answer the second question, which I'm curious about. What about the payment?
Yeah, they get paid. They're paid professionals. They make a few $100s a game. Okay, it fluctuates based on position and their contribution, like any job. Right? So they're not getting rich doing this. For most of these young guys, it's funny. You come in the locker room. I've owned these teams for decades, right? I've been part of this for a long time, and you can almost split the locker room in half with the guys who are maybe a couple years older, who love this games. Let's face it, chicks dig them. They get free lunch everywhere they go. It's fun. They're continuing their career. And the other half of the room are these guys that are laser focused, who say, hey, I'm going to use this to get back to, or to, for the first time, the National Football League. So you got, they're very high quality guys that are doing this, and they come in for a few months. A lot of them will have other jobs. Doug alluded before, somebody mentioned maybe Daphne here will hire a couple of them if she needs some help for a few months. So those guys will come in. They practice for a couple hours a day, they work out, but they're not making a ton of money. This is, again, chasing a dream, having fun. So you hope that you can provide them.
Let me add to that, and William as well. So that's been, a lot of people talking about pay and a lot of the other pieces. The challenge has been players need to play in indoor leagues to get tape so that they can go to the CFL, NFL. So that is actually their number one goal. I need tape so I can get back in business, so to speak. But what usually happens is it doesn't go that far. So there's no backstop. There's no plan B. So our design is to make sure the players are focused on a career track as well. So first you start with local businesses, and oftentimes practices are built around their schedule. So either early morning or late at night. And the other piece is William can talk about his role. He serves as the president of a national HR association. And we plan to launch a national initiative with this association. So players, if they're in Florida, can get jobs in this huge database. It's never been done before for players. Let's be first. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, just quickly, from just from a senior advisor standpoint from the league, we are looking at this from a very holistic standpoint. So when we talk about kids in the community, we're also talking about jobs for our athletes, not only during season, but also after season. And so it's a continuation, but our partnership, we've already gotten a commitment from an organization that boasts about 25,000 HR individuals across the country, as well as the U.S. Virgin Islands. And so we are really looking at this from a holistic standpoint. We want to make sure that we take care of our team members, our club members, and make sure that they get a pathway from league either again, continuing their career to pursue, from a professional level, the next level of sports, or moving back into their careers, with their degrees. And so we're looking at this from a total holistic standpoint.
I have a question.
Yes.
So, congratulations, this is phenomenal. My question is from the owner's perspective. What percentage, if any, Tommy, William, Doug, is it female-oriented? Ownership and inclusive.
Yeah,
If
that's a
you know
great
the
point.
narrative,
Yes.
in NFL football, the viewership or the engagement is 60% male, 40% women,
Right.
and we are the ones changing the narrative.
That's right.
That's why I invited you.
Yes, let's get her in. Women! So, and Tommy knows there are pioneers. Jen Welter is somebody that Tommy knows, and if anybody knows, one of the early coaches in the NFL, and is a great leader, first ever, and a great leader in professional sports. We look at the ability to bring in different people from different walks of life is critical of who we are and what we do. When we look at our senior management team, the engine of that team is PhD Lisa Giamo. She's not here. She's based in Philly. She's our backbone. She's the COO of the league. I hazard to guess there are many leagues at the very least that have a COO or somebody of that caliber. And Lisa is one of our core executives and has been from the get-go. As we're looking at building our team managers, and that's a big piece of the equation as well, you typically have three major managers. You have your CEO, director of operations, you have your director of business development. So as a part of that, our composition is specifically focused to get as many top female talent. And then you have, believe it or not, there will be coaches, right? There won't be players yet, as far as we know, but part of that, yes.
I'm an owner.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Football league, so the question more so was
Owner,
ownership.
okay, so ownership, I'm gonna point out Michael Smith, who's representing. Michael, do you wanna answer this question? Our first investor was?
My wife.
Let's give a hand. And, Michael, just come on up, because I think you need to tell your story. It's not just that simple. There was a lot of due diligence.
Yeah.
Mike is a finance guru. His wife is one of the top market executives in the area. Let's have a chat about how that happened.
This is our Russell Simmons.
Not Russell Simmons at all. Stay far away from the spotlight. I stay in the background and crunch the numbers. I met Doug through my sister. I call her my sister-in-law, but it's one of my wife's best friends. Introduced us. I'm from Texas. Football runs through our blood, and it's like a religion down there. So it's like, when I first heard about it, I'm like, come on, man. We don't need another football team. So she introduced us to Doug. I really latched on to Doug's spirit. Doug is very excited and passionate about what he does, but he's very humble, and the thing that he's doing is not what I typically see or seen since I've been growing up, right? We see these leagues launch all the time, and face it or not, it's typically not the minority starting them. So that was definitely a motivation for me. But when I started digging into the numbers, crunching the numbers, seeing how much it costs to run a team, all of these things, and then the community aspect was so important. So it's like, now fast forward to today, we've made the choice. We are now coming back and seeing the launches of the teams, and we're seeing people like Daryl get hired in the community of Morristown. I'm from the community of Danbury. We got to see Caden get hired in Danbury. So actually seeing our dollars go to work, we have dollars in the market, right? You don't get to go into Apple and see Steve Jobs work. So it's like, and rest in peace, Steve Jobs. But you don't get to see the effect that your dollars, your invested dollars, that are gonna hopefully have a return for you, is actually working in the community and actually making an impact in the community. So those were a lot of the decisions that me and my wife discussed. She's a global marketer, so she's a business mind also. I'm just a financial guy, and I crunched the numbers just to make sure they made sense. And when I found out the numbers made sense, we went ahead and made the investment.
And we're still looking for investors. So if you want to invest, we have a deck. You can go to our website. We have an investment deck there if you want to decide you want to make an inquiry into it. And I'm sure the ownership group will meet with you to discuss that as well. So we're very excited about the league itself. And these were some great questions because these are the questions that needed to be answered and needed to be asked.
Thank you, guys. I know a lot of people have to get back to work, so if you have any other questions, come see us afterwards. One more time, let's hear it for the New Jersey Ciphers, and a round of applause for yourselves. Thanks for being here today. Thanks again to Sue and Columbia, the whole gang here at 1776. We'll see you guys opening night.